Good morning and welcome to day 6 of our 21-day personal leadership retreat with the theme In the Light of the Seven. Today you can see I'm wearing silk, not just cotton t-shirt again. And guess what? It's Venus Day. Venus is the goddess of love, of beauty, of intimacy, of everything lovely. So, as we reflect on Venus today, among the 7 lights, Venus has to do with intimacy. Venus has to do with beauty. Venus has to do with love. And what does intimacy and beauty do? It attracts, it magnetizes, it calls attention. So you can see I'm trying to use my appearance to call attention. So as we reflect on Venus today, you will ask ourselves, in your business, in your family, in your interaction with people, how do you make yourself presentable? Most times you see people, some persons, they take on some level of piety and then they say, no, I'm not into fashion, I'm not into all that. But you see, it leaves them very unattractive. I don't want to call any particular sect, but we know those persons who have forsaken beauty and they tend to look very dry and ordinary. And we also know people who overdo it. You know, they want long hair, they want clean skin and all that. And these days, it's very funny that you see that men who are supposed to have rough edges, muscles, and don't care, and all that, they are beginning to pay very close attention to appearance, their smell, their hair. Men are beginning to overgroom themselves, because Venus is a thing. It's a feminine energy, and it has to do with attraction. It has to do with beauty. It has to do with intimacy. It's a deeper longing of joining two different things together. So in your business, in your personal life, in your family, you see Venus is directly opposite families that are breaking apart. So Venus attracts. So what are you doing to make yourself very attractive that someone wants to be with you? How are you branding your business in such a way that it makes it very attractive? There is a common thing in Nigeria we call packaging. Okay, even if you are poor, you package yourself in such a way that someone looks at you, you can call attention and all that. And sometimes you can even borrow clothes that you can't afford, or you put on perfumes, you spend your last dime to wear perfume. All that kind of activity is Venusian. Okay, and the power of Venus, even though it's not something that lasts long, because it's like a flower. You see, when a flower is blossoming, it takes a very short period of time, it withers away. Okay, so that's the trick. But while it is at its peak, while it is all glorious and beautiful, the main job it does is to attract and call attention to itself. So you see brands like iPhone, if they don't change their beauty every year with the different versions that they bring, the beauty they add into their art or into their craft or into the product that they are bringing, people will just get tired of iPhone 1 and that's the end of it. But you see, every year they bring iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone whatever it is right now. They are just adding to the functionality and the beauty, mostly the beauty. Okay, the most upgrades you see is beauty. And the fashion industry is a testimony. The fashion and even entertainment industry is a testimony to the power of beauty. So whatever it is you are creating has to be beautiful. And the reason it has to be beautiful is for it to be able to command attention, to call attention. When your product gets into the room, when your family name comes into a certain presence, when you go to certain spaces, what do people see first? Do they notice your neatness? Do they notice your smell? Do they notice your carriage? Do they notice your mannerism? Do they notice how the finesse you put into the things you do? So you see, beauty is a very powerful thing. It calls attention and it joins worlds together. That is why, you know, Venus is the goddess of love. And what happens when love happens? Two worlds come together and they meet. So whatever it is you're building right now should carry an element of beauty. And the purpose of beauty is to attract and to join worlds together. If you're building something that throws people off, that keeps people away, then you are missing that element of Venus, beauty. So today's reflection is calling us to look at our creation. Look at what you're trying to build for 2026. What's the beauty aspect of it? How can you incorporate beauty into what you're doing? How can you incorporate beauty into your family, that when you people go to wherever you're going to at the beginning of the year, there is a longing to come back to participate in that beauty at the end of the year, probably during Christmas or any other celebration. What is the beautiful element in your family that attracts you, that wants you to be with your siblings, that it draws you, that calls your attention to always go back to family? For many families you see that are broken apart is because of quarrels, because of the ugly things they see. So in place of the ugly things, beauty brings healing. It brings calm. It brings attractiveness. Okay, so some persons naturally are born beautiful and they have their work 50% done for them because they don't need to lift a finger or anything. Because of their beauty, they call attention of kings, they call attention of people who want to even be around them. Some persons industry is, you know, built around the concept of beauty because it's a lovely thing. And that's why you see, for most companies, they have nothing to do with women, but they use women to advertise their product, because in the human species, the woman, the female gender is the most beautiful. And you see, these days, men are even competing, you know, grooming themselves, putting on clothes, just as I'm wearing a fine silk now, just to portray that aspect of beauty. So today, as we reflect on beauty, we encourage young people who nature has been kind to, because in your youth, you see everything is fresh, everything is just growing. So how are you making use of that transient beauty before you turn to, you know, old school, before that beauty? Because we say beauty is very, very, it doesn't last long. Okay, it fades away very quickly. So while you have that beauty, how are you making use of it? This is for young people now. And for older persons, what are you doing to maintain that beauty? Beauty must not necessarily be good looks, but it has to be with carriage, your smell, your aura, and what you bring. Okay, and the energy you carry around yourself can also be beautiful. So we are encouraging us to incorporate this into part of our vessel as we travel through 2026. The good that beauty would do for us. Some persons just love to be nasty. When you talk to them, it's not appealing at all. Some persons just, you know, they are always aggressive. And we may want to say, no, Nigeria, we know they carry last, but there is also finesse. There is also something that is appealing to another person. Let's walk through this retreat to see how we can incorporate and work on that aspect of ourselves as part of what we are going to use through this long journey of 2026. Thank you for spending this time with us, and I hope you continue to be with us. I hope you would invite young people to participate and ask questions and encourage us to continue to do what we are doing here. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.